A couple of things that we have to remember is not about I'm not talking here about the wedding. No. I'm talking about what we can learn from that particular, what is a framework that we can get out of each and every incident. An incident could be not a good incident, and some incident could be a good incident. For example, if you take the wedding of Mr. Ambani's son, that was an incident or an event which was glorious or which was happy, and the incident that is right now happening in Wayanad is also an event which is not a good event. Am I right? So there are a lot of things that we can learn from a good event or a event which is not that good, and that's where the reaction and the response comes in. Now, what do you mean by react and response? I have spoken that many times, and I have taken that from Jack and Field. It's called E plus R is equal to O. E stands for the event that happens in our life, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. So there are a lot of events that happens in our life, and based on the event, we either react to the event or we respond to the event. And once we react to that particular event, our outcome, E plus R is equal to O, the outcome would be different. And if we respond to the same event in a different manner, then we get a different outcome. So therefore, that's a framework. Similarly, when we take now very specifically the framework with regards to the wedding that you mentioned right now, there are a lot of things that we have to learn. As leaders, we can learn a lot of things. Especially, I was very much interested not in the money they have spent. I'm not interested in all those things. I'm not interested in the glittering things. I'm not that person because I'm a minimalist. So I live in a condition where I live very minimal in my life. So there are a lot of difference in that. However, there are a few things that I respect. Number one is the value they were giving. Being so rich itself, they are respecting everyone, whether you take the groom or the bride or the father of the groom and so forth. So or the bride, they were all giving respect to their guests or anyone. Am I right? So that's number one. Number two, they were showing the Indian culture there, because they were showing the sort of respect, the culture, etc. That's number two. Number three is this is very well organized. I think there were 14,000 people who attended the wedding, and getting 14,000 people, and that too on time, creating an international airport only for that particular function itself is a management of things, and that's leadership, and that is being proactive, because you must be able to see things in advance. So therefore planning is very important. So without planning, you can't have this will never happen. Am I right? So there's planning in that, there is proper leadership in that, proper visualization in that, and then particular organization in that. It has been broken down to different small segments, and each and every segment has been taken care, whether it is logistic, whether it is a music, whether you're bringing A.R. Rahman, or you're bringing the best of the best celebrities like Rajinikanth and all those foreign delegates like Bill Gates, who came in the last session and so forth. So this is a very well organized thing. So this is something that we can learn. It's not about the wedding that I'm talking about. I'm talking about what we can learn from the wedding, what is important when you do something, whether it's a business, whether it is a life, whether you're starting a new business, or whether it's a function. How do you organize? How do you see things? How do you visualize things and ensure that you take the right action? You delegate it to the right people, so the end result is satisfaction. So satisfaction is the outcome. So that's what I mean here. It's not about the framework. You can take the framework. I may not be remembering the framework. I know it's glory, but I may not be remembering the framework. But what you have to do is go back and ask yourself, what is the lesson that I can learn from everything in life? Because I believe as a learner, as a student, I believe that the best of the best school is our experience. Whatever happens in our life is the best of the best school. Rather than going to school, there are a lot of things that we learn from our own life. It could be accidental learning, it could be forced learning, it could be intentional learning. This learning is an accidental learning. You never thought that you're going to learn something from a wedding, but accidentally you learn something. Once you learn that, you make sure that you accept the good side of it. I don't say that you have to accept everything in our life, because there could be a lot of things that you don't have to accept. For example, you don't have to accept whatever I say. There are few things that you may think that, this is good. 90% of what he said is not good, so avoid that. Don't go and complain that what you did is wrong. No, you take what is good for you, what you can digest, and to digest something and to take something, it's very important, essential that it has to very much align. This is the key word. It must align with your values. So you must know your values. So I spoke about values as well, the Indian value, their family values. You have to know what is your value. People get stuck, or people go deviate from their objective if they don't have value. If you have a vision, the vision must be connected with your value. If you have a goal, the goal must be connected with your value. But if you ask somebody, what is your value? Can you give me your 5 values? People may not be knowing about their value. So value is very, very important in your life. Value for yourself, value for your organization. If you're running an organization, that organization must be having a value. You must be having your own value. So I believe I was able to answer your question.